Hello, everyone, and welcome to NGB Business News, the greatest business news commentary channel on YouTube. You already know, people, and we got a good set of topics for you here today. First, we're going to talk about Ron DeSantis, and it looks like he's having some beef with Disney, which is pretty interesting because I'm like, Ron DeSantis, politician, Disney kind of makes sense because, as you guys know, Disney reigns in Orlando, with Disney Land or World. I'm not sure which one is there, but as we all know, Orlando is pretty much king when it comes to Disney. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get on to not smartphones. Oh my God, I have a 10. It's almost embarrassing to show. Check out my wallpaper though. I got wings. Not smartphones, but the emergence of dumb phones. It's very interesting. Apparently it's a new thing, I believe, with Gen Z. So we're going to go into that because it's like, what is a dumb phone? Are we going back to those bricks, or are people going to start using pagers or something like that? Then we also are going to talk about and watch an interview with a NYU professor. He says a lot about AI and everything like that, the dangers of it, why we need to slow down. Elon Musk has been advocating for this as well. I, too, also believe that we need to slow down in this AI as well. So we're going to kind of look into that. That should be real interesting. Donald Trump was recently indicted, I believe, yesterday. So we got to talk about that. Mr. Orange is always dealing with all types of legal troubles, so we're going to see what's going on with that whole situation. And last but not least, we're going to speak on Andrew Tate. If you guys don't know, a lot of people like to call him a misogynist and everything like that. At one point, he was the most Googled man on the earth, so I feel like you should know who Andrew Tate is. But for you guys who don't know, he basically is kind of like a men's advocate and everything like that. He really had a lot of issues because he would speak on subjects with women, and he was put into a Romanian prison. Romania is where he lives, on charges of basically like human trafficking, which we all know is very serious. So I believe he's on house arrest now that he's been released. Or is being released as we speak, and everything like that. So it's going to be real interesting to see what's going on with that. Why was he released? Because I personally did not think he was getting out anytime soon. So we got a lot of real good topics today. I'm excited to talk to them with you guys. And let's go ahead and get into the first topic. Excuse me. Oh, also like, comment, subscribe for that. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so first topic we've got for today is Disney blocks Ron DeSantis' Florida power play with a royal family clause. Very interesting. This would be the Disney royal family? I'm not sure this whole... You guys know I don't like to look at these articles until you guys do, so this is pretty interesting. And as you guys know, if you don't know who Ron DeSantis is, he's actually kind of like the runner-up to Donald Trump for the presidency. For the Republicans and everything like that. If Donald Trump doesn't end up running, or if Donald Trump ends up in prison, you already know we're getting into that indictment later, then, Ron DeSantis pretty much will be the next person to win. Pretty much. I mean, obviously, there's, I think, 6 or 7 Republicans that are, on the polls right now for presidency, but Donald Trump is blowing everybody out of the water, and then Ron DeSantis is still up a large amount from the next person, so I'm pretty sure he'll win. And as you know, we're talking about Florida, as Ron DeSantis is the governor of Florida. So let's see what it says here. Obviously, here's our beautiful Disney World. Look at it. It looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? It looks amazing. Looks good. So let's see what it says. It says, forget about the Disney princesses. Sorry, Cinderella, you gotta go. Mickey Mouse may have just proved who is the real king of Florida. I thought it was Donald Trump. Ha ha. Just kidding. It says the Walt Disney Company used a legal clause that name checks King Charles III to apparently thwart Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' attempt to strip the company of its self-governance power in the state. And as you guys know, Florida is one of the king countries of tourism, and this is mainly because Disney World. It's pretty much only because of Disney World. And, Miami is big, but really Disney World has tons of people coming into it, millions upon millions, if not, of people coming, each week, everything like that. So when you have that type of power, obviously you get a lot of say in the laws. You get a lot of say in the government. If the government knows that, 80 or let's say 70% of the economy comes to tourism and it's because of your company, then you're really going to be able to leverage that in the laws of that state. Now it says for nearly a year, state legislators encouraged by DeSantis have sought to exert more control over the company's Florida-based theme parks by passing a bill that would dissolve Disney's special tax district. That's interesting. Because, you guys know Disney basically is like, it's almost like its own county, with the hotels, all the land that they have, Universal Studios, everything like that. Well, Universal Studios obviously isn't owned by Disney, but you get what I'm saying. Disney is essentially its own very large span and piece of area within Florida. So maybe this means that this area may receive tax benefits or something like that other I guess you could say counties or other states wouldn't have, possibly a special tax. Now it says DeSantis also wanted to rename the area the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District and plant a new board of supervisors to oversee it. Come on now. I know Disney not going for this. Disney is like, hey, this is pretty much, there's Florida and then there's Disney World, and there's that. They're separate. They're very separate. There's Orlando, and then there's everywhere else. You ask people about Florida and they going to tell you Miami and they going to tell you Orlando and they going to pretty much say everywhere else is trash, and I'm not saying that everywhere else is trash, but it's kind of how it is. It's a little bit kind of how it is. I actually, for my job, I drove through all of Florida, pretty much all of Florida, like in a week I drove, and it was a great experience, but I can say there are a lot of dusty parts of Florida for sure, Fort Lauderdale, don't even get me started, yeah, but shout out to Florida though, shout out to Florida. But, okay, so it says, until recently, there had been no major public discussion about dissolving Disney's long-established special district, which it's occupied for 55 years, leading DeSantis critics to question its timing and speed at which the governor acted against the company. I think it's very interesting that he decided to act against Disney while, running for president, and I feel like that would hurt him, but, Florida's probably definitely going to vote for him, so, because he's the governor in there, and they will like say, our governor, our president comes from Florida, I would assume. Widely seen as a contender for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, DeSantis became locked in a bitter and public feud with the entertainment giant over the company's denouncement of the Florida's HB 1557 law last year. Now, this law, it says, dubbed by critics as the don't say, I don't even know if I can say that. Don't say, swing the same way. Don't say swing the same way. I'm crafty, I'm crafty. Limits early education teachings on sexual orientation or gender identity. Oh, this is very interesting. Okay, so this also makes us kind of think about too is I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think that they should speak about gender identity and sexual orientation in schools and everything like that? Obviously, hopefully not with the elementary school kids, but I guess this bill limits people from being able to teach about gender identity and sexual orientation, within schools. And while I'm very open to how everyone feels and everything like that, I would say that my stance on it personally is I think that we should kind of leave it out of education. I think sexual education is important, teach kids, about, safe sex and everything, because you already know high school kids going to do this anyway. So we don't need a whole bunch of pregnancies out there, a whole bunch of me, well, not me, I did not come from, I came from a good home, but you know what I'm saying. What I'm basically saying is, you got to teach kids about safe sex and everything like that, or that's going to cause a lot of problems with society. I think that's a good thing. Now, gender identity and orientation to me is different because it's essentially I don't want to say it's a choice, you know what I'm saying? Definitely don't, hey, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to go push this notion too far. I don't want to say it's a choice, but that doesn't really have anything to do with the safety. It's kind of like whatever you choose to do or whoever you choose to sleep with, in my opinion, is your own personal thing, and that should all just be behind closed doors. To me, a school is more so a place of education, more of a place of education and more of a place where I would say social issues shouldn't necessarily have their place and everything like that. So I don't really like the idea of that. I don't really like the idea of, people being able to influence your kids and maybe push a narrative on them and everything like that. I think that we should just promote equality and promote, if you do what you want to do what you want to do. Now, I think that maybe in schools it should be okay to say, you know what I'm saying, sexual liberation, maybe be able to say, hey, if you're not straight, that's fine. If you are straight, that's fine. But I don't think that this should be something that is taught about in school because I don't think it's the place for it. But let's continue. Let's continue. And also let me know what you guys think, what you guys' opinion is. Do you guys think that sexual or gender identity and everything like that should be allowed to be taught or really conversed about within a school setting, especially a school with minors? We have to remember these are all minors, people. Now it says Republican State Representative Randy Fine told CNBC's Squawk Box last April that the bill wasn't relatory, but then said when Disney kicked the hornet's nest, we looked at special districts. Now it says while Disney remained quiet on the matter for a matter of months, it seemed the House of Mouse, the House of Mouse, not the House of Representatives, the House of Mouse had been hatching a plan to retain its control over the land within the outer limits of Orange and Osceola, I may be saying that wrong, counties. On February 8th, the day before the Florida House voted to put DeSantis in charge, the previous Disney Allied Board, so is it saying they're no longer Disney Allied Board, signed a long-lasting development agreement that drastically limits the control that can be exercised over the company and its district. We can definitely see why DeSantis and Disney are butting heads, you know what I'm saying? Now it says, as a part of the 30-year development agreement, Disney no longer needs board approval to build high-density projects or buildings of any height and can sell or assign development rights. It also bans the board from using Disney's name or any of its characters. Which makes sense, that kind of makes sense to me. It says the agreement includes a royal clause, this part is weird, that dates back to 1692 in Britain and would extend its term limit for decades. Now it says this declaration shall continue in effect until 20 years after the passing of the last survivor of the descendants of King Charles III. Any of y'all a little confused? What does King Charles III in Britain have to do with Disney in Florida? Unless what does the family have to do with Disney? I didn't think Disney. We'll see. Maybe it'll let us know. But it says this kind of clause is most often used in the UK, typically when it comes to trusts, and provides a buffer against perpetuities. So as long as one of those grandchildren makes it to 80, this clause would be there for 100 years. It says DeSantis replaced all of the Disney Allied Board members with 5 Republicans February 27th. It was only then that Disney's new binding agreement was discovered. The clause was so obscure that several journalists who attended the meeting didn't pick up on it. Man, he's really coming at Disney, y'all. It's kind of crazy. I would feel like, man, I would be if I was in Florida, especially living in Florida, I would be kind of scared to come at Disney. You already know how much money they have, how much political power they have in the United States and everything like that. Hey, but I mean, Ron DeSantis clearly has a lot of political power too as well, and that's why he is the second best contender for the Republican presidential power. Now, they said this essentially makes Disney the government. yeah, if you have enough money, you pretty much can affect the laws to a point where you become the representatives. One of the new board members appointed by the CFTOD by DeSantis said at the meeting, this board loses, for practical purposes, the majority of its ability to do anything beyond maintain the roads and maintain basic infrastructure. Now, they didn't respond to requests for comment. You guys know that are all here. I hate when CNBC says that. They're never going to respond for comment. When they want to talk to CNBC, they literally have one of their representatives go and reach out and give CNBC something. I don't know why they say it. It's almost like every CNBC article says this. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to rant. It's just annoying because it happens all the time. It's like, it's just a waste of everyone's time, energy, and effort. Now, it says Florida legislators have balked at the new agreement, vowing to find a legal way to repeal or void the document. However, Disney says all of its conduct was legal. It says all agreements signed between Disney and the district were appropriate and were discussed and approved in an open, noticed public forum in compliance with Florida's government and the Sunshine Law, Walt Disney World Resort pretty much said. Now, it says the district in question is Reedy Creek Improvement District, which was also established in 1967. It was created by the Florida legislators so Disney could develop the infrastructure for Walt Disney at no cost to Florida taxpayers. Interesting. Pretty interesting stuff. Now, the arrangement allowed Disney to build theme parks, hotels, and other tourist experiences within the Reedy Creek District with no oversight, which makes a lot of sense. Like I said, they have so much money, they have a lot of power within the government of Florida, so, they don't want people watching over them, and with as much money as they bring into Florida through tourism, no one's going to speak up, but looks like now somebody has decided to speak up. Now it says, according to the minutes, board president Larry Hames asked if there were any business to discuss the close. Okay, and yes. So I want to know what you guys think about this and everything, this whole Ron DeSantis versus Disney type of thing. Do you guys think Disney should be able to have this much power within Florida? Or do you think, hey, you guys aren't the government, just because you have money, you shouldn't be able to have be able to have a say in the law? You know what I'm saying? Or are you guys on the other side and you're saying, hey, they pretty much run this state. They're the reason why Florida even receives so much money, so they should be able to have a say in the way that it's governed, and they should be able to have some some breaks or tax breaks, things like that, or basically be able to have certain special rules for them because they bring so much to the state. I want to know what you guys think about that. It's kind of the difference between, if you're for people being able to lobby and influence government, or if you think the government should not be able to be influenced and should just be able to make decisions just strictly off the facts. So let me know what you guys think about that and everything like that. Also, of course, like, comment, subscribe, help the channel grow, and to help push these videos and stuff and these live streams out to more people. Now, the next topic that we're going to have is about dumb phones. And we all know about smartphones, but I didn't know what a dumb phone was. Honestly, when I saw the article, I was like, what the heck is a dumb phone? And then it also said, I believe it said that Gen Z are the people who are actually buying it. I'm like, Gen Z is buying dumb phones? Like, aren't they like very, used to, having these smartphones and everything like that? So it seems surprising that Gen Z would be the ones to do that. So let's take a look at that article. I'm actually going to pour up a shot before we get into these dumb phones, because we about to go dummy. You feel me? Also, I hope you guys are having a great day today. I know Andrew Tate is having a great day today because he's free, and everything like that. Oh, this was already open. Oops. But yeah, I know Andrew Tate's definitely having a great day today. Okay. I thought I spilled something. Let's see here. Now it says dumb phones are on the rise as Gen Z looks to limit screen time. You cannot convince me that people are like they're actually choosing to go back to these bricks. Let's see what's going on with that. Sorry guys, I hope it's not too loud. If it's too loud, just let me know. It's always an ad, you know? We trying to hear about these dumb phones. What is a dumb phone? Like, we about to start walking around with, like, bricks? Is that what's happening? Those brick phones, if you guys know what I'm talking about? The, like, massive brick phones?
While yes, you can find an OG flip phone, some of the relics on eBay, we're seeing companies develop new models too.
Flip phones are hot right now.
Flip phone.
Flip phones are hot right now?
While it might seem like dumb phones are a product of the past, they've
I did
actually
not know
been
that.
prevalent around the world and still make up about a quarter of phones.
I definitely
actively
didn't know
being
that.
used. And yes, this is in large part due to their affordability in developing countries, but it's also becoming a movement among younger generations.
So it's been an official week on this guy, the crappy dumb phone, and I'm
Hey,
never
should
going back
I get
to
a different
smartphone.
phone?
We're going to be talking about my dumb phone.
Today we're going to talk about the Light Phone 2. It's been 3 years since I've had this device.
I had been thinking about getting a dumb phone or a flip
It's
phone
funny, it
for
says,
a while, but then
it's kind of like a roast. Like, you guys get it? Like it says Sarah Diedrich, dumb phone user. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's a phone user, but she's just a dumb phone user. I don't know. That was kind of funny to me. I'm kind of corny though, so you already know. Like, you already
kind
know.
of involuntarily adopted one. My iPhone broke and I loved it so much, I decided to keep it.
Okay.
Despite this, smartphones are still king. Even in developing nations
we know.
where flip phones are still widely used, smartphone usage is growing.
Developing countries are definitely some of the places where Nokia has, not just as a brand, but also with both feature phones and also smartphones.
Oh, Nokia
has a very,
probably
very strong
eating right
phone
now. They
presence.
probably eating this
Worldwide,
up.
the feature phone
Those
market
phones
is
are
expected to
crap.
decrease
Those
by
phones
about
are
10%
trash.
over the next 5 or so years.
Could be good for your
largely
mental health
attributed
for
to
sure. We
developing
already know
countries
social
making the switch
media
to
screws up your
smartphones.
mental health.
And older generations refusing to use smartphones could be phasing out, as there was a 48% increase in smartphone ownership among those 65 and up from 2012 to 2021.
Oh, they getting
But
hip.
the amount
Them
of
old
dumb
people
phones
getting
being used
hip.
by young people in Western countries is growing.
Let me
CNBC
do
wanted to
this for
explore
you
what the
guys.
dumb phone trend is all about and see if it
let's
can
do
compete
this.
with the massive smartphone industry. Within the dumb phone market, there are essentially two avenues most consumers take. One being a classic flip or slide phone similar to what was commonly used in the early and mid-aughts, like a Motorola or Nokia. Two being a modern minimalist phone from brands like Light or Punked, whose phones are in a way purposely dumb. And these brands are also labeling their phones as feature phones, which is like a flip phone with some additions like a hotspot or a GPS.
I think that's brilliant. Honestly, I think that's brilliant because when I was thinking about this just right now, I was like, well, sheesh, I don't like that I'm constantly scrolling on social media. You know, I don't like that I have all of that access because rarely ever is it really positive for most people. And I think we all can agree, but at this point, we're all so addicted to our phones and addicted to the social media culture that we're fine with it, even though we know it's possibly not bad for us. You know, up at night, just scrolling through your phone instead of going about your life or going to sleep. So I think that's very interesting that they made a phone that's actually not so old that it's so outdated that you can't do what you need to do, but a phone that's new enough for you to do what you need to do, but doesn't necessarily have that access to things like social media and a lot of that stuff that really can hold you back. So I'm just saying, from a business standpoint, if this really is some type of movement, I don't know how much of a movement it is. CNBC is saying it's a movement. I haven't seen it. I ain't never heard of one of my friends or anybody at work or that I'm around saying, hey, you know what? I'm trying to get one of those dumb phones because I'm trying to get my life right. But I like the direction. You know, I like the direction this is going in and everything like that. Let's continue.
Yes.
How do you feel about the term dumb phone?
He looks like he would have a dumb phone.
With the Light Phone.
Oh, he's the co-founder of the Light Phone. He making money. He looks like the guy that would not only create it but have one.
Which, you know, isn't inherently anti-technology, but it's about consciously choosing how and when to use which aspects of technology.
I like this guy, though.
Add to my quality of life versus
his face is kind of shaped like a
me with
moon.
all sorts of vulnerabilities of the
I'm not
smartphone.
roasting. I
In
mean,
Europe,
I am
for instance,
roasting.
you have a culture
He's a
here
cool guy,
in
though.
Switzerland and Germany. They call
This is
they
the
don't
founder
call
and
it the dumb
CEO of
phone or
the
a
other
digital
company,
minimalist
the phone
They
company.
call it the weekend phone.
One of the biggest reasons some Gen Zers are reverting to a dumb or minimalist phone is the concern with smartphones' effects on mental health.
We all know that what people convey through social media, they only convey the best of their life, which makes others falsely believe they live a lesser life by social comparison, which in turn negatively affect their self-esteem and well-being.
The US Surgeon General even recently stated that 13 is too young to be on social media, so some are taking the initiative and switching to a dumb or feature phone incapable of browser and social media use.
Yeah, I think TikTok really showed us how dangerous like social media could be to little kids. And you know, when it comes to the point where, you know what I'm saying, you pop up on TikTok, you trying to just watch some cooking videos, maybe learn a little bit about how you could save a quick buck on in finance and stuff, and watch a little 30-second video. Next thing you know, you got some 10-year-old girl dancing in some shorts. Like, I think the second I hopped on TikTok, I was like, yeah, little kids do not need to be on social media. This is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? You got Kim Kardashian's kid over here dancing to Northwest, and I mean, wait, no, not Northwest. Why am I thinking about, wait, what's her name again? Yeah, Northwest, actually. Yeah, over there, like, you know, dancing to Ice Spice, which, you know, little kids should not be dancing to Ice Spice or really reciting her lyrics. I get it. We were all young. We was singing that, you know what I'm saying, my neck, my back. You know what I'm saying? I was getting it. But it's good that I wasn't able to go on social media to thousands, if not millions or billions of people and express the way that I felt, you know what I'm saying, and everything like that. I don't think that's a good thing for kids. And, you know, they're kind of just saying this is some of the reason why they kind of are creating this phone. Man, this bug in my house is annoying. But they're saying, you know, this is their reasoning. This is a thought process behind it. And honestly, I love it. I think it's a great thing.
It's definitely a trend that we've noticed, that people have been like very occupied with digital social media for a while, and a lot of people want to take a step back and get a bit more detached from that part of their life.
I take my smartphone with me absolutely everywhere, so I decided to jump on the dumb phone bandwagon and test out a couple different devices.
This is the Punk MPO2 phone. It's my first dumb phone ever.
They need to work on the packaging, though.
Switzerland.
Just because the phone dumb doesn't mean the packaging has to be weak. Come on now, you got to do better, especially if you want people to buy it. Oh gosh.
T9 layout, which I've never actually used
also
before
strikes
for
me as a
typing,
guy
so
that would want a dumb phone.
We'll see.
I kind of want one.
A study found that Americans in their 20s are on their phones for about 29 hours a week, equaling about 4 hours a day. That was in 2021. Just for reference, my own,
you guys know, looking at a phone like that, okay, yeah, there's his iPhone. Looking at a phone like that, like, man, you definitely not about to be wasting a whole bunch of time texting your life away. Because, like, remember, if you guys remember back in the day, it was like the system where you used to have to be like, you know, you have to click through multiple letters to get to the letter you want. So sending a text, like, you couldn't just sit there and just send paragraphs. Like, that would take you forever. Like, I mean, obviously we got fast, we got efficient, we got them texting fingers, but still, like, I already know me. If I had a dumb phone, I would not be having that many conversations, because it's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of work. So that could be a good thing. Focus on your goals. You know what I'm saying? Focus on your goals, people. Focus on this guap. Like the video. You feel
trends about at 2.5 to 3 hours, which is a little bit less than average. The vast majority
a little
of my time
bit less
spent
than
on
average.
messages.
I feel like that's way less
now
than
I'm
average.
gonna swap out the SIM from my iPhone to the Punked phone.
The Punked phone retails for about $380 or $400 if you want it in light blue.
You can call, you can SMS.
Nah, they joking. They charging $300 for it though? They charging $300 for a phone that look like it's from the early 2000s. They must be joking. Are they high? Are they drunk? I'm not, but they might be. What? Imagine an iPhone is like what? $1,200? You mean to tell me I'm about to pay $300 for a phone that is intentionally bad? Come on, y'all are losing me. Y'all are losing me. But then again, I don't know. I don't know the features. It just seems like I should be able to get this phone. If I'm getting a phone from the early 2000s, I feel like it should be like 100, 150, 200 max. $350 for a phone that's designed that's like saying like, hey, you know what? Okay, I have a PlayStation 5, right? That's like somebody coming up to me and like, hey, bro, I got this thing. It's the same thing as the PlayStation 2, bro. It's basically a PlayStation 2. But you know what? I'm going to charge you, you know what I'm saying? Let's say $200. I'd be like, bro, what? I just flipped that $200 a few times and now it can just get me the PlayStation 5. That's ridiculous. But hey, maybe they're selling. We need to see what their numbers look like. Water, shot, water. You feel me? Stay hydrated, people. Drink your water.
Call and message through Signal, and you can make it use as a hotspot for connectivity.
There are other like purposely dumb phones, like the light phone, which allows for a little bit more leeway, I guess, on
hey, it's little. That's kind of cool.
Retailing for about $300, the light phone has a few more.
Oh, okay. It looks a little bit more advanced. Maybe I was just ranting. Y'all know I'd be ranting.
Things that have a real utility purpose. So, you know, something like an alarm or directions or a calculator or even, you know, a voice memo and notes tool. These things have like a really clear use case.
There's nothing about Punk that is against technology. It's about intentional technology.
Right now, I'm actually waiting on a call from somebody who I've been dating for about a month, and we've never actually called before, but we're trying to set up our plans for tomorrow, and texting is just so inefficient on a phone like this, so we're going the old-fashioned way, doing a little call. Hello?
It's kind of good, you
Hi.
know?
So far, I actually
actually talking to a girl, you know, getting that real human interaction, you know,
sit with the
by hearing somebody's voice, hearing their emotions. You can't get that through text. You'd be like,
I'm still able to text, just like kind of poorly. I'm a little bit more reliant on calling, but I'm about to have about an hour-and-a-half commute up to our office in Englewood Cliffs because I live in Brooklyn. So I'm not going to be able to use music or podcasts, which I usually do the entire time. Instead, I'll have to doing some reading. But maybe that's
bettering your life, man. I might have to get a dumb phone. You feel me?
What I'm running into is directions.
I might have to get one.
The Punk's phone does not have any sort of map or directional indicator on it, so I'm having to look up directions before I go for certain places. It's no problem. Like
I
work
see. I can't do
memorized,
that.
But for places that I'm not as used to going, I have to check before I leave and then just try to remember everything, which can be a little bit of a challenge.
Okay, so I did have to briefly cheat.
I can't get down with that. Everybody who knows me knows I hate driving, and I gotta use my GPS for anywhere. I don't care how close it is. You know, unless it's right outside the house, I'm using the GPS every time.
Keyboard on it.
That would be tough for me.
Which makes it a little bit easier to use for me, but everything on it is a little bit delayed.
Oh God.
Because of the type of screen it is.
That's terrible.
So I'm still struggling a lot.
It's like it has advantages, but also it's kind of
like,
like,
which I think is actually really nice, is voice to text, and it works pretty well. You have to go a little slow for it, but overall, very convenient.
Yeah, you
this is
probably
the home
need
screen,
that
and
because
you
you
actually
can't
have
text.
to go on your computer to their online dashboard to add any additional tools past the alarm. So I went in and added the directions, hotspot, music, notes, podcasting. The directional tool actually works really well. I expected to have to put in the actual address, but you can actually just type in.
I can't lie, this one was contract. Imagine you
most
chilling
of
with your homie pulls
and
that
we'll
out.
figure out
It's
the rest
like
from there.
everybody's like, bro, do you need a little money?
Tool only allows you to upload.
Bro, do you need to borrow a little money?
Using it as an MP3 player, so you have to download music. You can't actually stream it. So I'm actually gonna buy an album for the first time in, I want to say, like 10 years.
No.
So I mean,
God, they got people back buying music. We about to go back to the live stream, the LiveWire or LimeWire days. If you guys know about LimeWire, you're a real one. If you know about LimeWire too, definitely like and let me know that you know about LimeWire. But back to, you know, illegally downloading music and everything like that. Now, like me, like bro, who think about buying music? Like I'm gonna go in on YouTube, typing it in, Lil Durk featuring King Von, and then, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing my thing and we all jamming. This man actually had to buy music. That's a shame. That's a shame. They need to make, well, I mean, I guess the whole point though is you don't want to make it too modern. You don't want, I guess, people to be, locked in with their headphones in, blocking out the world. You want them to be able to sit there and actually experience it, smell the air, look around when you're on the subway, look at the homeless person, like, you know what I'm saying? Look at the people around you, that pretty girl down the street. Maybe you'll actually talk to her because you don't have your headphones in. So I get it, and it's tough. It seems like it's tough, but I love the idea. I love the implementation of it. I don't know if it's necessarily for me, but maybe it could be. Like, I would love to try out one of these phones for like a week or two. I think that would be great, and just see like what experience is better, having access to all these things that the smartphone provides us, or the lack of things that the dumb phone has. You know what I'm saying? That could really be advantageous. Like, he couldn't listen to music, so he read a book. I think we all can agree that reading a book is probably more advantageous than listening to music for the most part. Let's continue.
It is working.
This is actually
the
pretty
best
interesting
listening experience, but I am listening to music, so it counts for something. Well, I don't really use my phone that much to begin with compared to most people my age. I decided that a dumb phone really isn't for me. And honestly, one of the biggest negatives for me was not being able to listen to music and get around super easily using something like Google Maps.
So it wasn't for him after he,
on average, over
tested
half
it.
of kids in the US received their first smartphone by age 11, and that percentage has continued to grow, making Gen Z the first generation to entirely grow up with social media and smartphones.
Hey, Lucky, I think I got
and
my
about half
first
of teens
phone
in the US said they feel addicted to their
my
mobile
freshman
devices,
year of
which
high
can
school.
have
What are
adverse
you
effects
then,
on
like
mental
14?
health.
So this is why parents should be encouraging healthy device habits. It's not about prohibiting or banning totally.
Yo, this would be, I'm thinking about it as if I were to use it, or if you guys were to use it, but possibly could this be a great market for parents who want who their kids want a phone, but they don't want them to be, you know what I'm saying, twerking on TikTok? This could be an alternative. Hey, you can still call and talk to your friends. You can still text your friends. You can still have reminders on your phone, apps, calculators, stuff like that. Maybe a few games, stuff like that. But you're not going to be able to Instagram, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to YouTube, and everything like that. Maybe instead of them saying, hey, let's wait till you're 16, let's wait till you're 15, let's wait till you're 14, let's wait till you're in high school, maybe this could be an alternative for parents to kind of feel safe about the phone their kids is using. I feel like, well, I'm clapping in the mic. I'm sorry to the one person who is watching this right now. But, I feel like that may be the market for this. That may be the market for this. Maybe, yes, dumb phone is a good name because they're a smartphone. But these are kids' phones. Phones created for youth. Phones specifically created for the youth. Do I even want this on YouTube? Because I might need to make it myself. You feel me? I'm about to make $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Phones made for the kids. Parents are worried about their kids being on Instagram, worried about their kids being on Twitter, worrying about their kids twerking on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be doing that, girl. You 10 years old. But if parents still are the type of parents that are like, hey, I want my kid to be able to have a phone, you know what I'm saying? Then this could be the perfect middle ground, the perfect solution. The kid still gets to talk to their friends. They still get to kind of feel like they have a phone because, I guess they do have a phone. And the parents can feel like, hey, you know what I'm saying? My daughter's not going to be posting bathroom sink pics, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram. You feel me? I think that's perfect. Y'all don't take that idea from me, please. Please don't take that idea from me because testing will start soon. Testing, research, and development on that project, the child phone, will start soon. Phone made for basically parents to give to their kids.
Device
I like that.
Being used. Maybe encouraging their children to take some regular breaks.
A recent study found that decreasing teens' smartphone-based social media use by 50% improves issues with emotional distress.
Mm-hmm. But I think you can see it with certain Gen Z
population. That'd be very easy to push to investors.
They don't know what is going on with mental health.
These phones are bad for us. We know this. So when it has to do with the youth, come on now. That's easy money. I'm about to get on that right after this stream. Yeah, feel me?
Starting in the United States could very easily move, I would say, first to Western Europe, and Australia, and then after that, places like Eastern Europe, and even places like China.
This trend is largely a result of mental health concerns and in part why companies like Light and Punkt said its devices are popular among younger audiences despite having
so they already on it. They might have me beat.
A study connecting mental health and the rise of social media from 2008 to 2018 found that 18 to 23-year-olds who reported experiencing a depressive episode increased by 83%.
That's terrible.
So I wanted to change my lifestyle, kind of like get into a slower lifestyle instead of like the fast pace of the internet.
We kind of had this hypothesis that, taking a break from smartphones and the internet at large from time to time would, yield a really refreshing and positive experience for users.
He's gonna make
and brands like Light and Punkt that are geared toward younger audiences have found success and increasing device sales.
From 2021, for example, to the last year, 2022, we did grow 50% year over year.
We are fivefold compared to 2018. Let's put it this way. So, but we are not in the millions; we are in the 100,000s.
But I think this light phone, Punkt, and brands that are new, I think could make a much bigger impact, particularly in the Western worlds, because it's not apologizing for being not a smartphone.
In 2021, just 61% of Americans 65 and up were using smartphones, while 29% were using a dumb or feature phone.
The biggest question that I wanted to figure out is, will they age out or will they move to something different?
And as with most technology, older generations were slow to adopt smartphones. In 2012, once smartphones had picked up some serious steam, only 13% of those 65 and up had a smartphone, compared to 66% of 18 to 29-year-olds. What's assumed is that older generations are still using feature phones because it's what they're used to and have no need for the updated tech, and just 45% of them said they ever use social media.
I do believe we'll see higher adoption of dumb phones,
I think we will
even
too.
When folks like
I think smartphones are always going to be the main thing, but there's definitely a market for this, I believe.
Touch the screen of a smartphone when you get older is tough. Your eyes go, and directly you cannot operate a smartphone without having some reasonable eyesight.
Older generations are sticking with Nokia phones and still doing that. But I think that's also where we really try to bring on top of that innovation so they can still function in a modern society.
Older generations are clearly shifting away from dumb phones, and despite the growing movement among younger generations, 85% of Americans have a smartphone. And that percentage has grown every year since their inception, but some think the dumb phone industry will grow as well.
It's in North America, the market for dumb phones is pretty much flatlined, right, over the past 4 or 5 years, but I could see it getting up to 5% increase in the next 5 years, if nothing else, based on the more public health concerns that are out there.
The problem is that humanity is not yet ready for this fast evolving software. Children are not yet ready because they are going through the very important developmental age. So they're not yet prepared to face all the challenges that are currently available on the internet, video games, or even the social media platforms.
I think in the next 5 years we will have major...
Okay. So I think there was really a lot to take in here. I actually think this is a beautiful idea. The dumb phone is not a dumb idea. It's a very smart idea. And I feel like the market for this is really parents who want to give their kids the opportunity to be able to speak to their friends and everything. Their friends probably had phones for years, possibly even, elementary. There it is again. I'm from the country, y'all, so I don't care if I squeeze a bug. But I missed. But yeah. I think that's what the market would be really good for. Like, let me know what you guys think about this and everything like that. He said, finally, he's free. Shout out Tate. Shout out to Tate, the GOAT. Say young Andrew Tate, the GOAT. But yeah, like I was saying, Yeah, let me know what you guys think and everything about like the possibility of dumb phones. Would you guys possibly want a dumb phone? Do you guys think that would be good? Because as you guys know, like, social media is cool and everything. It's good. I hop on social media. I see a whole bunch of food and booties. Honestly, that's what I see. Like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I don't even be trying to. When I hop on social media, I see celebrities, food, and booty. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. The word booty is funny. But yeah, guys. So, you know, there's a lot of benefits that you could have by having a dumb phone. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, he couldn't listen to music really like that. So instead he read a book. You're not spending countless hours just dragging, just listening, you know, just scrolling through social media and everything like that. And it can really, you know, make you smell the fresh air. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having your headphones in, that cutie that you've been trying to talk to on the bus, you so bored sitting there because you ain't got nothing on your phone that you like, might as well go talk to the cutie. You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. And yeah, shout out Tate. Shout out Tate. I wonder if Tate's going to be on social media. He's probably not. But yeah, guys, definitely like, comment, and subscribe and everything like that. For sure. And we're going to move on to the next topic. The Andrew Tate topics, just so you know, we're going to go into Andrew Tate last. But as you know, the young Tate man is free. What is it? Like, they were like, free Tate, free Tate, free Tate. You know what I'm saying? Commentate W, as they say, commentate W. I think I saw there was a picture of him. That beard has really grown. Andrew Tate, yeah, we'll just know Andrew Tate released. I saw South Park actually just drop. That's how I know something's messed up with what be going on with just kind of like society. How did South Park drop an episode on with Andrew Tate in it, roasting Andrew Tate the same week when he gets out and he's been in jail for 3-4 months? How is that possible? How is nobody knows Andrew Tate's getting out and it's just a coincidence that South Park drops an episode roasting him the same week he gets out? I think the episode dropped like yesterday. Is that not weird? Is that not a coincidence to anybody? Nobody's saying like, hey, South Park, like, you gotta know something? I'm just saying. But yeah, I don't know. Is this maybe this is what Tate was looking like? Oh, sorry, I forgot. You guys can't see my screen. Is this what Tate was looking like right now? Okay. His hair, like, everybody always roasts him because he's bald. Tate's not really bald. I think he should shave it back off, go back to his look. You know what I'm saying? It was working for him. You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. He was getting girls, maybe getting too many girls. You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. Because, you know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily a fan of Tate. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just joking with you and everything. I'm happy to see him out of prison and everything like that. But, you know, obviously, if he actually was human trafficking, I don't believe he was. But, you know, when the facts come out, but it's like with the Romanian government, it's kind of much. Like, you don't really know what the facts are. So I really don't want to, like, advocate for Tate if he's a human trafficker. Like, I'm not for human trafficking. At the same time, I have seen people be persecuted for saying how they feel, especially about relationship dynamics, you know, everything like that. And that kind of seems to be what's going on with Tate. So, you know, it's just a kind of interesting dynamic. I'm gonna be right back, and then we're gonna get into this about NYU professor speaking about why he thinks AI needs a 6-month pause. I'll be right back, guys. All right, so guys, also let me know, is the fit a W? W fit? L fit? You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's see what they have to say about this. So it says, here's why AI needs a 6-month pause. NYU professor Gary Marcus says, as we all know, GPT has been huge. I actually had to use it for work, and there's a bug. I keep missing it. Oh my God, that bug's annoying. Sorry, guys. But yeah, as we all know, there's been the huge emergence of GPT. College graduates are going to be cheating even more than ever. Hopefully not the doctors, because, you know what I'm saying, you doing surgery. And bro was using chat GPT, you know what I'm saying, to pass his classes and stuff like that. That would not be good. But, you know, obviously there's a lot of, you know, negative things that could come out of chat GPT, while also a lot of positive things that could come out of chat GPT. I work in the IT field, so, you know, for me, I'm all for innovation. I'm all for the emergence of technology, but there is a point where too much is too much, and moving too quickly can be dangerous, especially with something that isn't regulated. You know, it can be very harmful to the people. And as you know, if AI really emerges the way it's emerging right now, a lot of people will lose a lot of jobs. So if you feel like you have, I don't know, like a customer support job, certain jobs that you feel like could be taken away by the emergence of AI, I would definitely recommend, you know what I'm saying, getting to a skill that couldn't be affected by AI and everything like that. But let's see what this professor has to say. It's an ad.
Our next guest is the author of Rebooting AI and jumped on board signing the letter. We'll share more about why. Gary Marcus joins us, New York University professor. He's also founded Geometric Intelligence, a machine learning startup that Uber acquired. It's great to have you, Professor. Why are you joining the team that is putting out a warning and calling for a pause?
We need a wake-up call here. We have a perfect storm of corporate irresponsibility, widespread adoption of these new tools, a lack of regulation, and a huge number of unknowns.
Mm-hmm.
Lack of regulation. I mean, do you really think we're going to get regulation? That they've been warning about social media and digital media for years, and we really have very little to show for it on that front.
I think things have moved really slowly. I think they're moving a little bit faster in Europe than they are here. But part of the reason that some of us wrote this letter is to put some...
So I also want to know, I think that was a very interesting point that she made. She was basically saying, hey, well, social media's emergence has been pretty much unregulated, and it's been able to go at as fast of a speed, you know, as, you know, they've been able to pretty much produce it. Now, when it comes to it, I want to know, do you guys think maybe we should have regulated social media a lot more? Think about it. Mental illness is way up. You know what I'm saying? Mental illness is way up. Like I was saying earlier, we got 10-year-olds twerking on TikTok. That's not positive. And we can all acknowledge that as a society, the emergence of social media hasn't been very good for people. People are depressed, you know, there's a lot more mental issues, people feeling like they have to live up to celebrities and people and certain even things like body image, certain body images that aren't realistic. And this is all because of the emergence of social media. So I think that she's saying, obviously she's saying, you know what I'm saying, do you think we should regulate ChatGPT? Even though we haven't been regulating this before? I think that kind of makes us say, let's take a step back and think before, you know, even in the MySpace days, Instagram, you know, Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, you know, what would have happened maybe if we had more regulation on it? Maybe that could have been a good thing, you know?
Some pressure on to make governments and the companies realize that this is no joke, that there are risks from these things. There are immediate short-term risks around misinformation at wide scale that might disrupt democracy, you know, much more plausible and much more of it than we've ever seen before. There are risks around cybersecurity, people using these tools to acquire people's credentials and do all kinds of things once they have those credentials. there are longer term risks that we just don't understand what these machines can do. And we don't know how to make them align with human desires. So there are many, many issues to worry about, and we've never seen anything scaled out.
Y'all remember I had a video a few months ago about the Google AI where a person pretty much, they said he was, you know, he chose to leave or whatever, but essentially they had like the robot. Was it Google? I think it was Google, that they had the robot, and the robot was basically saying that it had feelings, that, you know, and it could be angry and everything like that. And that the robot was like learning extremely fast. It was kind of a scary situation, because I was pretty much thinking like, okay, so the robot could say that it had feelings and everything like that. It said it wanted to have friends. It could understand, and it even said that it wanted to be there's the bug again. It even said that it wanted to be alive. So think about it. If the robot is smarter than human beings and it has the ability to know that it doesn't want to be shut down, then maybe the AI can build the ability to start making actions to prevent itself from being shut down, which is, then it becomes a whole, you know what I'm saying, Will Smith iRobot type of situation, which nobody wants.
So fast before. And we're also seeing that the corporates are, as usual, more interested in profits than you know, human safety. And so we have to do something, and that's why a bunch of us signed this letter. I don't know if the particular thing that we called for will actually happen, but we've raised public awareness more than I've ever seen on this issue. I've been on television nonstop for the last couple of days talking about it. And I think it's just absolutely critical that people in society realize that we can't wait on this. We need regulation that's akin, for example, to medicine, where you have to make a safety case. You can't just give a new drug to 100 million people without having made that safety.
Thank you.
Well, I wonder, Gary, what...
I think that's a really good point that he said there. Chat GPT and AI can be very influential in the world, and it can be very influential in even the psyche of a person. Think about it. If a person, I think they said at some point Chat GPT, or not Chat GPT, but just AI in general, will get to the point where you can't even tell if it's a human or if it's a robot. So think about the mentality that could have on a lot of people throughout the world, where they could go and, like, let's say they're just going and having conversations with a robot, and they feel like it's a person. That could be very dangerous to a person's mental, I feel. And I do think it should be some type of checks and balances to this kind of thing, where companies can't just, you know, basically put out this type of technology to the public that could be harmful. It needs to almost be, you know, go through a series of checks and balances where it's looked over by a board, and then they, you know, deem it safe, and then it's allowed to, you know what I'm saying, be brought to market. And everything like that.
What 6 months buys you? I mean, is that enough time for policy
water
to get
shot
crafted?
Water.
Or is it an attempt to convince markets to slow down? Because the capital flow, we can tell you on a business network, is unrelenting.
Yeah, I don't expect the capital flow to slow down, but we didn't actually call for a ban on all research. We called for a ban on these particular things, scaling up these particular models that themselves are unreliable. If you've ever used them to write your own biography, you know that they will lie about you. They provide both they can be used to make deliberate misinformation. Even accidentally, they make a lot of misinformation. So we have all those problems. So we're saying, fine, research all of those things. Just don't make a bigger version of this thing we already know is problematic and risky. You know, OpenAI has acknowledged that there are all these risks and haven't given any solution. They're also completely opaque about how the systems actually work, which makes it very hard for the scientific community to do anything about it. So we can use this time to both help with regulation and also to help research at other approaches to AI that might not have the same risks.
Okay, so putting aside the pause, which I'm not sure is so realistic, Gary, how do you make AI safe?
This is interesting.
I think we need
Good question.
I think that's part of it. I think we need to have regulation like we have around medicine, where you have to make a safety case. We may need to have a pause on widespread deployment, even if research carries on, until we figure out what are the safety measures. We're probably going to need new technologies in order, for example, to pick up on the high volume misinformation that I anticipate. So just like we had to build new technologies for detecting spam and different kinds of viruses and stuff like that, we have to build new tech too. 6 months buys us some time to do that. I don't know that we will actually implement the pause, but we must do something here.
Has there been official response from OpenAI or Google or Microsoft or any giant player who's in this? Have they tried to say to you, guys, we're on it?
I haven't heard any specific response to the
You
letter.
got a cough.
I have heard people like Sam Altman himself
It's a bug
say
again.
we do need regulation here. Microsoft said that. I was in an episode of 60 Minutes, and Brad Smith was in it too.
I remember that piece.
He was the president of Microsoft, and he said at the end of that piece, after I said that these things make authoritative, and I don't know if you can bleep it out live, so I just won't say BS. He said that we need to regulate these things, but I haven't seen any actual specific proposal either from OpenAI or from Microsoft about what that regulation would look like. But they are starting.
Think about it, though. Like, you're a company, you make profit off of the better technology that you make. The more innovative you are is directly, attributed to the more money in your pockets. These companies are not going to be the ones to push for regulation. Why would they do that? Then they're not going to be able to do as much research. They're not going to be able to do as much development. They're not going to be able to build their technology. And in turn, that means that they will not be able to have as much money. So I guess it really comes down to, this is going to have to be something where the government or somebody like that would have to be able to step in and say pretty much like, hey, this is out of hand. We need these checks and balances and everything like that. So I get what he's saying, but it's like, we can't put this responsibility on the people who have an advantage or a financial, incentive to not regulate it. That doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? We need to be talking about why. Maybe why isn't the government looking to regulate this? Why isn't, things like that, I feel like would make a lot more sense. That's like having a business owner and saying, hey, I know that if you implement this, you'll possibly be open to losing money, but why don't you put in the work, to open this up so you could possibly lose money? Like, why would anybody do that? I wouldn't do that. And I feel like you guys watching as well wouldn't do that.
Starting to acknowledge this as a reality. Now we need to move people from, in an abstract, we need this, to here are specific proposals. This is what we're going to do. I think the call for the pause would disappear if there was real regulation and we felt comfortable that people knew what they're doing, but we don't feel that comfort.
Yeah, so he's saying, the cost for the pause would disappear. The only reason these companies would ever write up something like that is because they know they're about to get shut down. They know they're about to get regulated, and they would just be trying to get a step ahead to make sure that they're more in control of the regulation. That's what I would do. If I know the government is eventually about to come in and say, hey, here are the rules, then I would be adept to, write up rules, beforehand for them and say, hey, here are the rules that I want to present to you. But if the government's not putting pressure on them, nothing's really happening. All it is a bunch of people on social media talking about, oh my God, AI, it's about to be iRobot. I'm not about to change anything. I'm about to keep making this money, keep getting these profits, keep creating this in artificial intelligence, and keep it pushing. And let me know what you guys think about that. Do you guys think that ChatGPT, Google, Microsoft, all of them, do you guys think that they should be allowed to just, build as much as they should without regulation as they are? They're public companies, but they're technically, in a way private. Should they be able to do what they want to do? And if they have the scientists or the engineers or smart enough people to innovate, we should just say, innovate as much as you want to, go as hard as you want to for the betterment of the world or for the betterment of humans' understanding? Or are you saying we should put a limit and say, even though we could be smarter as a race and, have and be as innovative as possible, maybe we should slow this down for the safety of the people? It's a very gray area, I would say, because I have a hard time saying that as people, we shouldn't strive to be the best that we should be. But at the same time, it's like, do we really want to do that, possibly at the expense of the safety of the general public? So let me know what you guys think about that and everything like that. I believe that we should probably have light regulation on this, because I do think that this is something that really can change the world and influence a lot of people's lives. And so I would like to see a type of, at least a checks and balances, where before something is released, some type of department has to look into it and everything like that. Now, let's see what's next. Next, we're going to talk about the Donald Trump indictment. Now, as we already know, Donald Trump was indicted on a hush money payment scheme. And this is pretty much what we know. I haven't looked into this at all either with you guys. So this will be good to see. Oh, this. Okay, it moved down. Okay, they coded their website correctly. Let me move my big, amazing looking hat. I was going to say ugly, but you know what I'm saying. I need to get my hair done, but you know, I still look amazing out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just playing with you guys. But yeah, let's see what's going on with this whole Trump indictment and everything like that. And then we'll proceed and get into Andrew Tate being freed. Now, it says CNN, former President Donald Trump indictment by a New York grand jury has thrust the nation into uncharted political, legal, and historical waters and raised a slew of questions about how the criminal case will unfold. Now, it says the Manhattan District Attorney's Office has been investigating Trump in connection with his alleged role in a hush money payment scheme and covering up involving adult film star Stormy Daniels that dates back to 2016 presidential election. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, you guys already know they were using, my friend's on the way. They were using, you know what I'm saying, government money to give hush money to somebody because somebody was grabbing some cheeks, you know, which is pretty ugly, and you definitely shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, using campaign money for that and everything like that. But it says through this indictment, which has been filed under seal, has yet to be unveiled, Trump and his allies have already torn into brag, and the grand jury's decision blasting it as political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history. Here's what we know about the Trump indictment so far. Now, it says, what is it for? He faces more than 30 counts related to business fraud. I didn't know this, guys. In the indictment, the former president is expected to be arraigned in Manhattan criminal court next Tuesday around 2:15 p.m., which we'll definitely be taking a look into that, guys. You already know. It says the investigation by Manhattan District Attorney's Office began when Trump was still in the White House and relates to a $130K payment made by Trump then personal attorney Michael Cohen to Daniels in late October, days before the election, to silence her from going public about an alleged affair with Trump a decade earlier. Trump has denied the affair. They probably should have paid her more money. She said 130K. She said, nah, this is the most powerful man in the country. I'm not going for it. They should have thrown her some more money. But yeah. Now, which charges are possibly at play? Now, this is interesting too. What is everything Donald Trump is essentially getting hit with? Now, it says a target in the probe has been the payment made to Daniels and the Trump organization's reimbursement to Cohen. According to court filings, when Cohen faced criminal charges, the Trump organization executives authorized payments to him totaling $420,000 or $420K to cover his original payment and tax liabilities and reward him with a bonus. They noted that the reimbursements as a legal expense in its internal books. Trump has denied a knowledge of this payment. Do you guys think Trump really didn't know anything about this? I don't believe that. Now, it says, this was, I was wondering too about this whole hush money payments. I was like, if you give somebody money to not say anything, is that really like illegal? You know what I'm saying? Like that's not really illegal. Like, I don't know, unless where the money came from was government funds or something like that. I kind of never understood that. So it's nice that they're about to actually, you know, get into that. Now, it says hush money payments aren't illegal. Ahead of the indictment, prosecutors were weighing on whether to charge Trump with falsifying the business records of the Trump organization for how it reflected the reimbursement payment to Cohen, who said he advanced the money to Daniels. Make sure. Okay. All right, perfect. Prosecutors were also weighing whether to charge Trump with falsifying business records. Now, that is illegal, you know, in the first degree of falsifying a record with the intent to commit another crime or aid in or conceal another crime, in which this case could be a violation of campaign finance laws. Class E felony. I'm not sure, like, is it A is the highest level of felony? Does it go down? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it carries a sentence of a minimum of 1 year and as much as 4 years. Oh, wow. To prove the case, prosecutors would need to show Trump intended to commit a crime. Now it says, how did Trump respond? Trump was caught off guard by the grand jury's decision to indict him, according to a person who spoke directly with him. While the former president was bracing for an indictment last week, he believes the news reports that a potential indictment was weeks away. So he kind of knew that it was coming for sure, but he didn't know when it was coming. Shout out to Peachtree Ridge High School, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Now, it says, I believe this witch hunt will backfire massively on Joe Biden, the former president said in a statement Thursday. The American people realize exactly what the radical left Democrats are doing here. Everyone can see it. So our movement and our party, united and strong, will first defeat Alvin Bragg, and then we will defeat Joe Biden. And we're going to throw every last one of these crooked Democrats out of office so we can make America great again. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and one thing that did come out of this, I actually ended up making a video on it last week, was this actually brought a lot of Republicans together. I would say I'm more of a Republican. I'm definitely not a Trump fan, but I'm definitely more of a Trump fan than I am of sleepy Joe Biden, you know what I'm saying, and everything like this. But I would consider myself more of a moderate. But, you know, this did kind of bring Republicans together because they got into a state where they were basically like, wow, they're trying to, you know, press charges on, you know, our president, even if you didn't like Trump, but you're a Republican. It kind of made you have a little disdain towards Democrats because you're like, oh, wow, the timing, the election, everything like that. Are they just trying to get him out so he can't possibly beat the Democratic candidate, you know, probably Biden, you know, and everything like that. So it kind of did bring the Republican people together. It depends on, you know, where you align, if you think that's a good thing or you think that's a bad thing. Now it says, what's next for Trump? Very interesting. Now, he had first been asked to surrender Friday in New York, but his defense said more time was needed, and he's expected in court on Tuesday. I didn't know that he was asked to... There's that bug again, guys. Y'all have watched me on this stream miss this bug like probably 10 times now. Am I just slow? Am I slow? Are my hands not quick? I got quick hands. But anyways, first appearances are usually public proceedings. If the arrest of a defendant is not needed, arrangements are made with them or their lawyers for a voluntary surrender to law enforcement. With their first appearance in court, defendants are usually booked and fingerprinted. And if a first appearance is also an arrangement, a plea is expected to be entered. Trump will have to go through certain processes to make sure that any other defendant must go through when a charge has been brought against them. But his status as a former president who is currently running for the White House again will undoubtedly inject additional security and practical concerns around the next step in his case. Yeah. So there's the indictment, the surrendering, the first appearance, and the arrangement. Now, I wanted to see, we already know what the indictment is. He just got indictment. Surrendering, I'm assuming, voluntarily turning themselves in. First appearances are usually public proceedings. In their first appearance, defendants are usually booked and fingerprinted. Okay. So, dang. So, Trump really might be going to jail. I don't believe it. I just can't picture it. I can't picture it. Wow, some dog went crazy outside. But yeah, I really can't picture that. Now, yeah, he's gonna, the arrangement, you know, and everything like that. He's expected to go to court on Tuesday. This is the first time in American history that a former president has faced criminal charges. That's crazy. There's never been like a ex-president drunk driving or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, history is being made right now. This isn't good history for the American people. It's quite embarrassing. Let's keep it a stack. But you know what I'm saying? It's history, guys. This is the first time this has ever happened in our... How many presidents we had now? What, like 52? Like, how many? Let me see real quick. You guys know, like, I don't ever act like I'm like too smart or anything like that. I just stick to the facts. How many presidents have we had? 46. Oh, I'm thinking about the 50 states. I'm dumb. And I'm thinking about the multiple terms that presidents have. Okay, 46. So we've had 46 presidents, guys. See, that's why you look things up. You know what I'm saying? Humble yourself. Now, what does this mean for him politically? Boy, you can't run from jail. You can't run from jail. But that's one of the big questions here. DeSantis will end up running, you know what I'm saying, and probably winning. So far, a number of congressional Republicans have rallied to Trump's defense, attacking Bragg on Twitter and accusing the district attorney of a political witch hunt. Outrageous. Sounds like Jesse Lee Peterson there. Outrageous. Tweeted House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan of Ohio, one of the Republican committee chairmen who had demanded Bragg testify before Congress about the Trump investigation. Now, Senator Ted Cruz called the indictment completely unprecedented. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? A Republican said that it's completely unprecedented. Is that a surprise, guys? Let's keep it a stack here. Is that really a surprise? And said that it's a catastrophic escalation in the weaponization of the justice system. And as a part of the response to the indictment, Trump and his team will be rolling out surrogates, beginning to hit Democrats, the investigation, and Bragg across various forms of media as they work to shape the public narrative, according to sources close to Trump. So this is all very interesting, guys. History's definitely been made. I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think this was just a political attack to kind of bring Trump down, put him in a negative light, possibly throw him in jail so he can't effectively run in the 2024 election, so that the Democrats will be able to have the power and the strength to win? Because it's looking like right now, if nothing happens to Trump, Joe Biden's been asleep. He's been messing up. You know what I'm saying? The economy has gone to absolute crap. You know what I'm saying? He'll probably have a really hard time running up against Trump and everything like that. Or whatever next Democrat comes in, because we voted for the Democrats and they completely failed us. So you guys, do you guys think it's more about that? Or it's like, hey, Trump, you did these crimes and now is just a time where you have to pay the price. And now everybody's out here making excuses for you, you know what I'm saying, because you are a president. So I want to know what you guys think about that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate everybody who has popped into the stream. I appreciate you guys who are watching right now and everything like that. And you guys already know I'm about to hit a shot, and now we're about to get into Andrew Tate, because he has been freed, which is a very interesting thing. I honestly thought he was about to be sitting in prison for a hot minute, but we're gonna see what's going on with that. Obviously, there aren't a lot of details coming out yet because he just got out. Like I don't even know if he's really walked out yet. But just literally like maybe an hour or two ago, I was watching a stream where they were waiting for him to exit the jail or the prison. You know what I'm saying, and everything like that. So we'll just see what's going on with that. Now, I'm going to just grab a quick glass of water real quick before we get into this so we can really have a good conversation on that. And let's get into it. Let's get into it, guys. Probably hit a shot before this, too. All right. Y'all like my shirt? Y'all messing with the fit? You know what I'm saying? Do I look like I could get some girls in this? You know what I'm saying? Fresh or not? I still wear this shirt all the time. I can't lie to y'all. But, yeah. So, Andrew Tate, released from jail in Romania and placed under house arrest. If you guys don't know, Andrew Tate is pretty much considered to the world to be a misogynist and everything like that. I don't necessarily think he's a misogynist or anything like that, but he was arrested on basically cases for, the case was for why am I having a brain fart right now? I'm having a brain fart right now. But essentially trafficking women, abusing women. He's known for that kind of thing and everything like that. But, you know, they really didn't have any evidence or anything on him. So since Romanian law is a lot different from the United States type of law, he kind of was able to just sit in there, even though they didn't actually be able to come out with evidence for him. In the United States, he probably would have been out. But like I said, it's not the United States. He also claimed that he moved to Romania for this reason, because he thought he was able to manipulate the government and everything like that, pay people off. As you guys know, he has at least over $100 million. So, you know, if you got that kind of money, you can definitely, you know, pay to, you know, kind of curb the way that people think about you. But let's see what this article is saying here. Now it says, just moving my hand, I'm gonna make myself a little bit smaller. Andrew Tate released from jail in Romania and placed under house arrest. Now it says controversial influencer Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate. If you guys don't know about Tristan Tate, have been released from jail in Romania and placed under house arrest for 30 days instead, according to court documents. I wonder what that means. Does that mean like, is he good after 30 days, or does that mean like he sits, like what happens after that? You know what I'm saying? Because I was assuming that he would be on house arrest while the case is going on, while they're still trying to build evidence against him and everything like that. But if it's only 30 days, does that mean just if he builds, 30 days, then he's fine? And shoot, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't, if I was Andrew Tate, I wouldn't mind, you know what I'm saying, being in house arrest. Honestly, I would say 90% of people would rather be in house arrest for 30 days living the way that the Tates live, rather than being, you know what I'm saying, living their actual lives. You know what I'm saying? He's a billionaire. Like, he lives in an amazing mansion. You know what I'm saying? Girls everywhere. He not about to have girls everywhere anymore. I can tell you that for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's probably like being on vacation for the average person. Now it says the self-proclaimed misogynist, 36, and his sibling Tristan were released from a detention facility in Bucharest and just before midnight local time. Wait, what? Oh, maybe. Oh, okay. This is Sky News, so it's over in Europe. I'm sorry. The hours were getting weird to me because I was like, what? I was just watching a video of everybody waiting for him to come out. Maybe 2 hours ago. So I was like, what? But okay. That makes sense. Accompanied by their lawyer, Eugen, you guys know I like to try the names, Vindenik, the pair made a few comments to a crowd of journalists and supporters. Okay, so they came out and they said something. Wow, you see his beard. His beard has gotten crazy. As you guys know, he is now Muslim, so, that probably contributes to his beard. And, he walks around with the religious book, which I think is a good thing. I think religion, it can be very good for people and help them change his life around. And, if he actually is trafficking people, then he does need to change his life and everything like that. But the facts do not suggest that he is that type of person. But, he's been saying crazy stuff, guys. We already know he's been saying crazy stuff. Now it says, before the brothers pushed through a crowd to a car with darkened windows and drove off. Wow, they didn't even tell us what type of car it was. Like, come on. Like, what kind of... Now it says the pair, along with two Romanian women, Nahel Georgiana and Radu Luana, are being investigated by prosecutors in the capital, Bucharest. Georgiana has been widely reported to be Andrew Tate's girlfriend. Now it says the four suspects have been detained for months over allegations of human trafficking, that word right here, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women. They have all denied the accusations. Andrew Tate's communications director, Mattia Pestrusk, told Sky News they are not a flight risk and they're not a danger to public safety, therefore have decided to release them under house arrest. I mean, anybody who's really watched Andrew Tate, which I have, I don't think he's a danger or anything like that. At least not to the public. Maybe to women. I don't know. But like I said, I don't know. It's a very You almost need more facts with a person like Andrew Tate. He shows a side of him that's really good and great for advocating for men, advocating for family, advocating for protecting and wanting what's best for women. And then he says things that you're kind of like, why would you say that? You know, now it says it's just a small step. They're still under investigation. It says they're absolutely ecstatic. Yeah, getting out of prison would have you ecstatic. They kept their spirits in jail. They are really thrilled and looking forward to being at home. They have kept their optimism throughout. And this was when he got arrested and everything like that. That's Andrew, and that's Tristan right there for you guys who don't know. But I'm sure you guys know, especially if you pulled up and clicked on this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Now it says an order from an appeals court in Bucharest said it rejects the proposal to extend the duration of the preventative arrest measure regarding the defendants Tate the third, Emery Andrew, Tristan Tate. His name is Tristan Tate. What are you talking about? And you know, the other two girls, as you guys know, his dad was like a chess champion, a world champion, actually. Now it says the court replaces the measure of preventative detention ordered against the defendants with the preventative measure of house arrest for a period of 30 days. And it ordered the immediate release of, Andrew Tate and them. Now, this just talks about who he is. He was a kickboxer, if you guys didn't know. But I don't want to go into that because I feel like most of you guys understand who he was and everything like that. My friend's actually at the gate. Perfect. Good timing. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about that. Shout out Tate, you know what I'm saying? Let's take a shot for Tate. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm happy he's free. If he's innocent, if he is actually, you know what I'm saying, a human trafficker, then I hope that he goes under the jail because that's terrible. If he actually is, you know what I'm saying, responsible for all these things, taking people away from their families, doing all of that, sexual exploitation, we definitely won't ride with any of that over here at NGB Business News and everything like that. But if he is not that, and it doesn't seem like they've been able to find any facts on it. So right now we're going to have to side on NGB Business News. We're going to have to side with Tate because there hasn't been any evidence to show that he's doing these things. There's even been people coming out in defense of him and everything like that, of course. And I'm not talking about the Tate fans. I'm talking about girls who have actually interacted with Tristan and Andrew alike. So I want to know what you guys think about that. Are you guys on the side of Andrew Tate? Do you guys think it's great that he's free? Do you guys think he needs to sit in there? He's a terrible man. He's a misogynist, everything like that. Keep it respectful for sure. Let's keep the conversation very respectful. But I want to know what you guys think, but also when you tell me what you think, explain why you feel the way that you feel and everything like that. So this one's to Tate. Shout out Tate. Also, yes, I know I'm drinking out of what is used to mix drinks. Don't ask about it. But yeah, guys. So I appreciate everybody who's been in here in the stream. I appreciate you guys watching the videos. I want to know what you guys think about these topics. I want to know what you guys think about Andrew Tate. Are you in support of Tate? Are you not in support of Tate? And everything like that. And I appreciate all the love you guys have been showing the channel. We've been growing, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys all have a great day. We all know Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate are going to have a blessed day. Maybe they'll eat some pizza. You know what I'm saying? If you guys don't get that joke, he got arrested after the Greta thing with the pizza. You guys will probably get that reference. You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. Maybe he'll have a pizza. But I hope you guys